Hi everybody, I'm Doc Shocker, and welcome to Deathstate. In our last episode, we took the priest all the way, by way of a horror aspect stone. Let's see. You know what, I have not played, or it feels like I have not played Pumpkin Man in a while. So, I feel like playing Pumpkin Man, I'm gonna play Pumpkin Man. Alright, so we're at in the Temple of Keet as our starter in this. A little more bullet helly than the Fortress of Koth, but not at all bad. Like I said, the last run, as far as beginning a recording day, very much let me ease into it and just have a lot of fun with that run. It ended up being very, very fun. Unknown relics. 14 spears of freezing ice. Wow, that actually kind of seems pretty rad. Hopefully we might see some increases in our ice damage. Not entirely sure if that's even possible. Probably peep the... oh, yeah, fear effect. Okay, so... doesn't display damage types we don't have a bonus for, so it's very possible if there are ice ice damage increases out there. We'll just keep him feared and frozen, because he's less likely to shoot us in the head. What do we have? The Viridian Eye for a 10% rate of fire, which is pretty good. Pumpkin Man, I think, starts a little lower on the rate of fire spectrum. So, it's certainly a good thing. Looks like we have another giant chest, which is good. Good. We'll pretty much finish exploring the landscape here, and then we'll come back and deal with that, as there may be a tome or something laying around. Not that I expect. I think we were pretty much in the vestibule before we even found a weapon for ourselves in our last run. But the books were aplenty through the course of it, so we weren't for want. By the end of it, we ended up in very good shape, I would say. Alright, let's get him taken care of, and then we'll fear him, hopefully hit him with a little frozen shot, but since they're not really targeted, they are a bit tricky to get to work. Yeah, it looks like all those whiffed pretty good, too. I'm not entirely sure what the hitboxes on those ice spears happen to be. Alright, a couple of extra organs. Fungal fragment for damage and plague damage. And the Blue Blood Hungry Heart, rate of fire down for max HP and magic point up. We'll move into the second layer here. Back to the fundamentals. We want to find our golden chests, if there are any. We want to find our champions, get them dispensed. Not be afraid to use our specials. My magic regen is not super spectacular at the moment, but those specials are kind of, you know, your actives are there to be used, so. Piece of meteor, rain death everywhere. Sure, we'll give it a shot. Is that another giant chest? Goodness. Wow. Very strange. I don't know, maybe there was an update I didn't see and they shook up the loot tables a little bit or something, I don't know. Alright, so we'll give this a shot and we'll see where our rain everywhere. Ooh, that's pretty neato. I do like that quite a bit. Let's try that again. You do gotta get kind of close, I think, for like the ground zero effect, but well, these chaser skulls, man, those are awful. My last video, if you haven't watched, you should probably go watch it, but if you haven't, I just about bit it really hard on someone who had like that chasing skull attack. We got a book, fires 2 lasers, the Dream Web Major, and the Golden Eye for a 0.25 damage up, so yay for that. That's good stuff. We're in a good spot for our damage right now. I think if we can move into a slightly better health situation in terms of our max health, I think I'd be happy, but I'm not complaining at where we're at. We have received a max HP up, so I mean, we're not hurting and we're not using the eye, so I would just like to avoid moving into the later floors in a glass cannon state. But if that's the way of things, we'll just play the hand we're dealt, and we'll do the best we can, and hopefully put another check mark in the win column, and if not, well, c'est la vie. Let's see what our merchant has to offer. Another book. What's the book? 1 laser? Nope. We'll use the Dream Web Miner. 2 lasers are better than 1 laser. It's just science. Let's just get out of the way of that. Oh. Alright, that doesn't hurt me. That's good. Grimalke's Fang for a 0.5 damage and a move speed down. So let's check our stat. Yeah, so we're already at a pretty beefy 2.1 damage by the second floor. So this should shape up pretty well, as long as our overall health can trend similarly. As there are going to be points where I'm going to be taking many a hit, and I would like to be able to survive that particular Armageddon. So there's nothing worse in really any roguelike game of this vein, you know, like kind of the loot extravaganza style games, where you just have a run implode. Feels bad, man, you know. But either way, I'm having all kinds of fun playing this game right now, so even a loss has its own little bit of good stuff to go with it. What do we have here? The Blinking Spleen, movement speed, not the greatest organ I think I've ever picked up. Actually, I think on the spectrum of that is actually one of the worst ones I think I've picked up. Not that move speed is bad by any stretch of the imagination, it's just that normally you're going to see a number of bonuses kind of tagged to something. Let's see, what do we have here? Evoke Nullify projectiles, eh? That might come in handy. Oh, that's lovely. That is wonderful. Now, if we just don't squander our chance, the whole Raining Death thing is really good, but the ability to just obliterate bullets is amazing. This is a bullet hell game, and having the ability to obliterate bullets is, you know... I just know that, you know, playing Enter the Gungeon, there have been a lot of times where being out of blanks is pretty much the end of it for you. Of course, we're fighting Shar Sahal. In no way the most difficult boss, despite how I am dodging his bullets here. Insofar as that I'm really not. I'm kind of doing a not great job of that. Kill him. Alright, whoa. Loot Stravaganza. Yellow Fatty Spleen. Hit points up. Magic Regen down. Toxic Spore. Pretty good. Yeah, having a blank definitely outweighs any sort of rate of fire increase for like a second. Down to the Ozian Swamp. Probably the better of the two levels I think we could have pulled here. Let's see what we've got. Fowler fires Plague Bullets. I think we do have a Plague damage up of, yeah, we have a 40% boost in Plague, so, yeah, we're doing Plague. But before I go too far on beating that drum about how I love Plague damage, and I think it is the premium damage type in this game, mostly because of the damage over time of Explosion Effect. You've heard me basically beat holes in that drum head over how much I love Plague damage. So, yeah, good stuff. Let's swing up here. Try to avoid taking all of the damage, if possible. Kind of keep some of my magic points in reserve here, just so that way, if bullets start getting to be a bit thick, then I do have an out. Doesn't appear to be anything of note down here, so ooh. Come on up this way. Shoot some zealots. Boy, them mushrooms are tanky, but maybe there is elemental defense on here and I'm just not aware of it. Like I said, like the mathematics of this game, like aside from basically what I see for myself on my character screen, is it's kind of an unknown to me. So let's see, the butterfly lung, rate of fire, and movement speed up, both of which I think we have kind of needed, as we've gotten some shot speed, shot speed penalties, so all in all it's a good thing. Again, we're still sitting in a position where our weapon is not present at the moment. Oh, I probably should have hit that treasure chest, but hopefully the game doesn't punish me too bad for that. Die zealots, and running whatever dudes. Here's our golden chest. Hopefully there is a weapon of some variety. Nope, it is the Iron Maiden's head. I think was that entropy shots? Or concentric rings of fire. Again, that is not going to outweigh our ability to obliterate bullets. That's so good. That is so good. I mean, I'm not really burning it up yet, but there will come a time. Oh, you betcha. Oh, you betcha. I don't want to watch Fargo. Oh, man. Although I would happily watch really any of the Coen brothers films. Like good dark comedies. Film noir for a new set. Let's see here. Alright, doesn't look like there's anything really over there to grab our interest. So let's kind of start heading over in this direction. Not paint myself in a corner if I can at all help it. Well, just wait for those to dissolve. Sorry for that lapse in commentary. I was getting a little deep into my own headspace. I was actually thinking, well, I kind of side-quested myself into thinking about film noir. I got thinking about a movie from the early 2000s. It's called Brick. I can't remember who the director is. I know he went on to direct the film Looper, I think, with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Bruce Willis. But Brick is... It was kind of classified as a neo-noir. Very... kind of a dark crime film. Kind of, you know, like one of those old-school detective dramas. That sort of thing. But it's such a film, or a film that's just so true to form in being film noir that it's unexpected, that it's kind of told from like a high school, almost Veronica Mars, for those who are aware of Veronica Mars being a thing. It told in like that high school crime vein, but they do such a spectacular job of delivering a phenomenal crime movie. But it's Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Emily DeRavin. You may know her from Once Upon a Time, Lucas Haas. It's kind of an actor I do really enjoy. He's also, I would call him an indie darling in terms of films. Been in a lot of very good independent films. Lathe of Heaven being one of them. It's a very interesting science fiction film. I think the film adaptation of Brave New World as well, but I could be wrong on that. Found the Madron Core for 10% damage. We have found the Royal Blue Starchild's Heart for all kinds of damage ups and expanded insight. So that's good stuff. I think that's our third golden chest we've found so far, so far be it from me to complain about them wanting to give me loot. Although I still have this empty slot in the lower left-hand corner of the screen, which I guess we're going to solve that right now with the Angel Steel Crossblade. It rains death. It's a skull attack. Not my favorite, but having something in that particular loot slot isn't going to break my heart. Alright, looks like we've got a brain of some variety. Brain of Duke Tharsis, MP and MP regen up. I'll take it. Possibly the best item that we really have at the moment requires magic points, so... Alright. Everyone is different. No two people... Or two people are not on fire? Is that what it said? I didn't quite catch that. Dagon. Prince of the Antediluvian Sea. Probably my least favorite boss that I encounter on this game. Mostly because he's got, you know, basically this polycephalus, the stain kind of shtick going on. We're just gonna give myself a little breathing room there by way of our little artifact that we've got, the Red Right Hand, or no, that's a Nick Cave song. The Shriveled Digits. It's probably not the name, but that's probably the name that's gonna stick. I am empowered by the Shriveled Digits. Alright, what do we have? The Bilious Slime Bag. Hit points down, not good, but everything else looks like it is a stats increase of some variety. Alright, Vestibule of Carcassus. This makes me happy. I do not like the Maze of Ix. That place is a meme, as they say. Holy... Wow! That was pretty awful. Slimy Skull, luck +2, ice damage, and rate of fire up. But I guess I answered my question about, you know, earlier in the video, as rhetorical as it kind of was intended to be. Ice damage is, in fact, buffable. Just got to be good about my my dodging here, so that way we don't feel the burn of having such low HP. Or hopefully get ourselves into a couple of organs that will actually increase our hit points a little more. It's just that at 4 max health, we are very much in a glass cannon stage. If we end up in another, like, little skull maelstrom there, like we did against the champion of this level, things could go sideways very quickly. Because sometimes I get some tunnel vision and end up taking some pretty grievous hits for it. I am hoping for a different weapon, more usable weapon. Bullets are strange. The Achamanian Hellblade, which is really good. I'm a fan of the weird bullets. More so than the skulls. I mean, that is without question. And here's our portal out, so I think we will actually be taking that. I remember when I arrived here, it was a quiet place filled with wonders. Now chaos reigns. Bump our chest, a little extra gold. Again, would still like to get us into some hit points. Make our way down to this golden chest. See what it has to offer. Demon Aspect Stone. We just aspected in our last run, so I think I'm not going to take that. I think it gets bonus fire damage or something anyway. Not something I'm profoundly interested in right now, because our plague is doing such good stuff. I don't think... Have we fought a champion here? I am inclined to say no. So I think we'll explore a little further. Hopefully not take a whole lot more damage. That's a polar opposite of where I want to be in this run, given that we're, you know, very much in a glass cannon state. To be this deep in the game at only 4 HP, which would be acceptable for, say, the Eye. There's our champion. And we're just gonna do that. Save me a little grief. The Hungry Heart, 1 max HP, 1% luck. Should improve our drops a little bit. Say I'm about 20%, or I'm feeling about 20% better about this run now that we've gotten 1 more health. We'll bump down to the next floor, and I'm gonna drink some coffee. You have a heart of gold. Don't don't let them take it from you. Telling you, it is going to be a coffee drinking kind of day. Just fitting, I haven't even recorded my Coffee and Isaac video yet, but which I'm thinking I'm making the executive decision of I think putting the Coffee and Isaac series on a more indefinite cycle than daily. It's just, it's becoming something that is not always the easiest thing for me to record every day as we're moving into summer and a lot of things going on with the kiddo and things like that. As I've explained on numerous videos, you know, being a parent, things like that, you know, adult life is more important than YouTube-y stuff. Whoa, my. That's quite the chest drop. I've never seen one that good before. But it's being more efficient with my workflow and having several roguelikes in my rotation is making things difficult from a time management standpoint. I don't want the Angel Steel Blade again. I'm not actually entirely sure how that has ended up being the only weapon that exists, basically. But yeah, maintaining a recording schedule with numerous roguelike games becomes a bit of a time sink when it comes to trying to be productive and having enough content for the channel and not have to spend my every waking moment of the day playing video games when there are just higher priorities, you know? I'm not walking away from the channel by any stretch, it's just I'm going to be moving to more story-rich series, at least for the time being. The Ankh. What do we have? Pick up unknown relic, flash freeze everything nearby, find exit portal. Not bad. I prefer the shriveled digits. So, alright. First Furnace, Luck Abounds, Amon Morax, the champion of the feast. And we should probably be rotating in a clockwise fashion. Try and keep our bullet-absorbing good stuff in front of us. Well, maybe this sword doesn't absorb bullets. Not sure. Huzzah! Let's put that fire out. Oh, he went down fast. That felt good. Alright, Star Child's Heart. Oh, 1 max HP and some dark damage. Of course you should fight fire with fire. You should always fight everything with fire. I disagree. I much prefer Plague as a damage type over fire. Fire gets the job done, but you also have to kind of get right in the face of your opponents, because it typically has short range. Warp Steel, fires Plague Bullets, fire and bursts. I'm okay with that. Once I make a little breathing room for ourselves, we'll even have a look. So, yeah, we're at 3.44 with an additional 40% over top of that. So, another, what, 0.1216? Something like that. I don't know. I know it's one of those unwritten rules, the YouTubage, you shouldn't be doing math on video. It just makes you look like a moron. But, I have no problem saying that, hey, I'm a moron, so... I suppose that's my exemption. Bullets, go away. I do not like you. But the Lost Arcanum is pretty much the sole reason I have been sporting the shriveled digits since basically the beginning of the game. Because there are just going to be times where I'm going to be dealing with many, many, many bullets on the screen, and just going to have to be dealing with those by not tanking hits if possible. That, and I think that as long as my magic regen doesn't tank too hard, this thing should be a pretty hard counter to the Primal Id as well. So, we're just... man, he's speedy. Alright, looks like we got the... no, it's not the butterfly lung, that is something else. Temetrian's lung, fire damage up, and luck up. I'm okay with the luck up. It means we'll be getting some better drops. And it seems like for it only being in like very, very minute decimal increments that we get luck up, they actually do seem to be rather beefy. It's not as low a upgrade as it seems, at any rate. But I think luck just governs drops. Alright, here's our gate, so we'll portal down to the next floor. Have some decent momentum. Of course, I'm kind of returning to my strategy of basically maintaining a decent pace towards our portal, and then really only meandering off of that path for golden chests or, you know, champions, more or less. Guess it doesn't obliterate all bullets. Must just be those in a more immediate radius than I had initially thought. Well, that's alright. We're focusing our opponents down pretty quickly. And our dodging has been okay, so all is well. See, that was an alright one. That one seemed to take out a lot more bullets than the first one that I did. But again, it might be sort of an effective radius thing. It might even be like a per bullet assessment. I don't really know how how the math works. As I've said, I think for like the 600th or 700th time in this video. Let's shoot him in the face. Pop him in the craw. Get some health. So it looks like our portal is in the other direction. So we'll just bump off in this direction. Doo-doo-doo. Alright, so we didn't find a chest, didn't find a champion. I feel like maybe we should hunt down a champion, as our health is still not probably what it could be. Another aspect. We just played as the horror aspect in the last episode, so I'm just going to pass on that. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to bump down to our next level. Might spend a little more time here than we have in previous levels, just to make sure that we're getting the last couple of upgrades that might be available to us. That gold, because we needed the gold for sure. Stood there, watched it sail right in to hit me. Alright, ice them suckers. Ice them suckers. Ice that sucker. And that sucker. And that one and that one. Alright. Make sure we still can keep the real estate we need to move around and get out of the way of things. Health on the ground, good stuff. Just gonna get that out of the way. Maybe walls block it. That could be what it is. But please don't construe that as complaint, because Shrivel Digits are really doing some awesome work when I have bumped it, because basically any bullet that goes off the screen by not coming in contact with me, that is what you checkmark as a win. I do not enjoy the fact that he's got clipping bullets. Probably really shouldn't be, running into every bullet I see either. Let's see, I think that's probably going to be the crossblade that gives us lasers. Ruby crossblade. Yeah. We're not. Oh no, it emoliates. And I don't think our fire damage is, nope, as high as our plague, so we're going to be sticking with plague bullets. All the while, I do need to stop taking all of this damage, though, as we are closing in on our final fight, and if our last fight with the Primal Primlid, is any indication, I'm going to be taking a lot of hits. My dodging was not the most crisp thing in the world. Alright, and there it is. Our final portal. So we're going to make sure we kind of get through all of these guys if we can. Guess I never realized those purple specters resurrect the white ones until, like, just now. Well, any day you learn something's a good one, as they say. It's what the old Papa Shocker used to say. Let's get that thing. It wasn't really gold I was looking for. I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but, That's what That's what I'm talking about. Let's get some health going here. It's old Dr. Clippin' Bullets himself. Alright, well, looks like it's time to go. So off we go. Alright, you have a heart of gold. Don't let them take it from you. Drink a little coffee. And hope we can make good on our stuff. I think what we're opening volley is going to be seeing if fear shots going to prevent him from shooting. They do not. Managed to lay in some good damage for the portal shenanigans started. But I think we won't have too much trouble. Just pop that when we think we need to. Find our seam. And that is that. Alright. Find all the mad loot that we really don't need. It's sort of strange that they drop all this gold on the ground for you. Seems like not long ago I was just a lonely jack-o'-lantern lost in a graveyard. Now, life wasn't so bad, I suppose, but in this strange new place, I've met so many new friends. It's really not all bad if you get to know them. Even some like candy. So he actually does shoot candy corn. That is actually pretty hilarious. And as you can see, I also unlocked the Seeker achievement for winning consecutive games. The Matrons of the Pit have finished tallying your accomplishments. Your score is 14,433. I've unlocked Sam Hain's Skull, the Jade Ankh, and the Horrible Hatchet. Sweet. Alright, and I think that is a suitable spot to leave off for this episode of Death State. If you've enjoyed the video, please be sure to press the like button down below. If you have any comments, questions, or critiques for me, you can leave those in the comments section. I'd love to hear from you. With that, this has been Death State. I'm Doc Shocker. You've been great. Happy gaming.